Hello everyone, and welcome to my EastEnders Soap Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Viewers of EastEnders believe that some vital information that would have excluded Sonia Fowler from being Debbie Caldwell's killer has been overlooked by the police. This week's BBC soap opera had a plot surprise when Sonia was accused of killing Debbie and her real killer, Reiss Caldwell, was set free. Reiss and Sonia were detained for the killing of his wife before being questioned. According to the officers, there was tangible proof that foul play was involved in Debbie's death at the care facility. Sonia was accused of the murder, but her husband Reiss was released from jail after lying about his location. Debbie was receiving care following a stroke a few years prior, and Reiss was unable to pay the care facility expenses due to his mounting debt. Following a series of con games, Reiss appeared to have killed Debbie by entering and exiting the assisted living facility covertly. When Sonia had visited her earlier in the day, it appeared that she had neglected to sign the register, which would have verified her arrival and departure times. Officers concluded that Sonia was the reason behind Debbie's death due to these factors, her apparent motive, and the absence of an alibi. However, viewers quickly pointed this out, arguing that a few more pieces of information would demonstrate that Reiss was present after all and that Sonia did not hurt Debbie. Fans were certain that the care facility would have had security or monitoring, even if it's unclear for sure if there would have been CCTV cameras inside or outside the structure. They said there would have been cameras outside somewhere that would have shown who had entered the house that day. Many said that if the police looked through any video evidence, they would see Sonia's arrival and departure times as well as whether or not she had killed Debbie. It would also prove that Reiss paid Debbie a visit before slinking away again without being noticed, maybe proving he was with her when she passed away. "Where's the CCTV from the care home that shows Reiss there?" asked one fan on social media, while another commented, "There would have been CCTV in the home. Surely they must have CCTV of him going into that room and leaving," exclaimed a different enthusiast. Nevertheless, one viewer brought up the point that not all assisted living facilities have CCTV. Sonia Fowler, the adored nurse, was charged with murder by detectives, shocking the public. However, fans think that Martin, her ex-husband, would be the support she needs in EastEnders. After Debbie's death was determined to be a murder, Sonia and her fiancé Reiss Caldwell, played by Natalie Cassidy and Johnny Freeman, respectively, were recently detained during their engagement celebration and brought in for questioning. This Wednesday, August 21, 2024, the real culprit was right under the nose of the authorities, but Sonia's lack of an alibi made her the ideal culprit, and she was charged with murder while Reiss was free to go after telling the police that he had spent the entire night at Peggy's until 10 p.m., the night before Debbie was murdered. But even before she received the heartbreaking news, Sonia was having a hard time handling the police interrogation because her designated barrister didn't seem to care. As he told the tough guy Sonia had no bad bone in her body and wouldn't commit murder, Martin Fowler, James By, went above and beyond to protect her and solicited the aid of Phil Mitchell, Steve McFadden. Later on, Sonia was taken aback by another solicitor who turned out to be one of Richie Scott's accomplices. Despite his experience, however, his attempts failed to prevent Sonia from being accused. In spite of this, viewers on BBC One became increasingly convinced that Martin will be the one to support Sonia during her difficult period, while Reiss will probably be enjoying his independence. On Twitter, one of them gushed, "Martin is doing everything he can to get Sonia a good lawyer." "Sonia been strung up like a kipper," echoed another. "I believe Martin will take up Reiss's case. Excellent performance." "Reiss wouldn't do that," a third person said angrily, "No. I've told you everything." 5 seconds later, he allows Sonia to be accused with Debbie's murder. "Ideally he chokes." An additional person added their conjecture, speculating that Reiss is going to drop himself in it or accidentally frame Sonia. Sonia had previously faced accusations of murder, she was identified as Pauline Fowler's killer and barely escaped punishment. One of the original characters in the drama series centered in London, Pauline Fowler is the mother of Martin, Mark, and Michelle. She first appeared on The Beeb in 1985. Wendy Richard, an actress, played her. Her marriage to Arthur Fowler was anything but tranquil, and her relationship with Sonia was even more problematic. The two would frequently argue since Pauline would not accept the nurse as her daughter-in-law, despite Martin's best attempts to revive their passion. Ultimately, it came to light that Sonia had never killed Pauline, who had died from a brain hemorrhage. After her fiancé Reiss Caldwell, Johnny Freeman, was arrested yesterday on EastEnders, Sonia Fowler, played by Natalie Cassidy, found herself in a worse situation than before. After the police took the couple from their engagement party, they spent the next night being interrogated in great detail about Debbie's death. Reiss performed well because the covert killer was able to establish a plausible alibi and an ambiguous reason for killing his wife. However, things weren't so easy for Sonia in the adjacent room, who was unable to provide an explanation for the disputed night and, despite her candor on her conversations with Debbie, came across as quite dubious. Certainly, that's what the police believed, questioning why she would go see her partner's ex so often, why she would go alone, and why her DNA was discovered on the pillow that had suffocated the unconscious woman. Sonia was obviously annoyed with the way she was being questioned, and occasionally she even expressed her annoyance as rage, which didn't work in her favor. Reiss was relieved to learn at the end of the episode that the CPS had requested his release because they didn't have enough evidence against him. However, this was not the case for unfortunate son, who was accused of killing Debbie. In today's suspenseful episode of EastEnders, Jenny Meyer's character Debbie Caldwell received a startling update. Even though the midwife gave Reiss, Johnny Caldwell, good news about the health of his unborn child with Sonia, Natalie Cassidy, he was clearly unhappy throughout the entire episode, fresh off the bat from his new agreement with Teddy Mitchell, Roland Manookian. Reiss suffered a panic attack as a result of the stress of his recent activities, even though he had a favorable update and an engagement celebration coming soon. Sonia comforted him, telling him that their life together would be happy and long, but that her words would be cursed. It was their party at the end of the episode, and although he made an effort to unwind, it was short-lived as the police arrived and asked to speak with Reiss. They didn't simply show there to get him, though. They also dropped a bombshell when they said they were going to arrest Reiss and Sonia for the murder of Debbie. Is their less-than-fairy-tale relationship coming to an end? And will the jury find one of them guilty? Can Sonia demonstrate her innocence? And will anyone ever discover Reiss's crimes? Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.